Jaylen Warren, will he take over Cincinnati? Well, my man AJ the Barber, the major edge, seems to think so. Week 11, blades and fades. Tony Jigsaw Cutillo, the major edge. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good. Doing
We
good.
we skipped a week, but hey,
Yeah.
listen, school's tough, right?
Yeah.
School's tough. Got a lot, cut a lot of hair last week. We got the studios getting together, right?
Mhm.
So we're gonna unveil that pretty soon, which is pretty cool. But how'd you feel last week? Just no picks out there, just
It
watching
was
football.
less stressful. I didn't have to worry about my guys doing this and doing that. But I think that I'm back this week, and I think I picked some pretty good guys this week. I think we're gonna go strong.
I'm ready, man. Let's get right into it. Who is our blade number one?
Well, obviously, you always start the video with somebody. You start with Jaylen Warren. I'll start with Jaylen Warren this week.
I like Jay. I listen. He's on my fantasy team, so this is gonna be very important information for me right here. So what's
I
going
mean,
on?
I could say one thing and leave it at that. They're playing against Cincinnati, but I still have more than that. I mean, you see any running back, any wide receiver, any quarterback plays against Cincinnati. That game's always high scoring. Everyone's involved. It doesn't matter if it'll be someone like Jonnu Smith getting the ball against Cincinnati, DK Metcalf, Jaylen Warren this week. I think will have a big week. He's very efficient on the ground, very good receiving upside. Rogers, he'll dump the ball off here and there. I mean, Kenny Gainwell's a little bit better in that aspect, but I was reading things and I see Mike Tomlin wants to get Jaylen Warren actually more involved than he already is. And he's doing good even with that 50-60% snap share. He's still averaging around 13 fantasy points per game. But say he gets up to 70 or 80, I mean, it's going to go from 13 to maybe 16, 17, maybe even 18. So we'll see
You,
how he does this week.
if you're getting 16 to 20 touches as an RB1 in an offense that obviously has a quarterback who likes to dump the ball off, has a decent offensive line when it comes to running the football. I mean, Jaylen Warren's like a ping pong ball out there, bro. He reminds me of you're a little young for this, but the older generation. He reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew in his prime. I mean, he's a little guy. Actually, a Philly guy. Looking at your jersey reminds you a little bit of Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley was built like Jaylen Warren, so I like that pick. I really do, and I hope for my own fans team that works. Where are we going at number two?
Just going, the other side of that game, one of the
Ooh.
Bengals. I love T. Higgins this week.
T. Higgins. I'm gonna say he's gonna be Chase Brown. You go running back, running back. No,
Mm,
I like
no.
T. Higgins a lot, man. I'm with you.
I'm really getting flashbacks. I mean, T. Higgins used to be one of my favorite guys. I mean, he still is, but I haven't seen a lot in the last couple years. But I'm getting flashbacks to that 2022 season with, especially with Joe Flacco, and the uptick in production between him, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, even the tight ends like Noah Fant, guys like that. I mean, it's been great to see. I mean, the Bengals are coming back with the 40-year-old quarterback, and the offense, they're probably feeling rejuvenated after a bye week this week. I think Joe Flacco is still going to go out there slinging it because we have seen him on the Browns have
Joe.
the 4-week stretch of him going crazy and then he kind of dies down. But I think in that offense, he's going to stay as a top guy with the weapons that they have.
I listen, he's a veteran. I'm not gonna say he surprised me, but what has surprised me when we're sitting down here watching Red Zone and we're watching him scramble for
Yeah.
15 yards
Yeah.
and then chasing the dude down after he throws a pick or is a fumble, man. Listen, he could be home sipping on some Yingling, eating some beer nuts, and just having a ball, but he's out there balling,
I
man.
mean,
So,
yeah. And you
man,
look at T. Higgins too. He's got 5 touchdowns with Joe Flacco. And I mean, Joe Flacco's only been there for about 4 or 5 weeks, so, I mean, you already see how much of a difference it is between Jake Browning and obviously you can't really say Joe Burrow because he was out week 1, but
Jake Browning. Jake Browning. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this week, I think they've activated him to start practicing Joe Burrow.
yeah.
So, yeah, so maybe in a couple weeks we get to see him. So it'd be interesting.
Mhm.
Who's your blade number three?
This is more of a streaming option this week because, there's bye weeks obviously with the quarterbacks, but I'm gonna go with Jacoby Brissett this week.
I like Jacoby Brissett. He's a veteran, man.
Mhm.
Interesting game last week. It was out. Listen, Seattle won that game in the first 7 minutes, right? So we can't, let's throw it out. But I like Jacoby.
I mean, like you said with the Seattle game, but still, even in a game like that, he's still at 19 points. Like
Good
in these
point.
last 4 points, he's 19 plus out of an older guy. And obviously, the Niners aren't the greatest in the secondary. I mean, they let up the ninth most amount of points against wide receivers. So or quarterbacks, I should say. So I think Jacoby Brissett, he's also got the rushing upside. I could see big things from him going over 20 points this week.
I do like that. Now there is questions to if Marvin Harrison is going to be available. He did have surgery. However, even if he's not, Michael Wilson gets
I
targets. You see
still think
Greg Dortch,
McBride is enough.
Trey McBride. You
Mhm.
got
And
DeMarcado out of the
Benson might be back
backfield.
this week too,
I
and that
heard
that
that.
could be
That's a
that
good
could be
pay.
another option too.
I like
So,
that. I like
mhm,
that. A lot of people forgot about Benson, man.
mhm.
So check the waiver wire. So obviously with the blades, we're always going with the fades, man. So who we fading first?
Call me crazy, but Derrick Henry on any team is staying. At least I don't have him, but would be on my bench. Maybe if you don't have a guy to put over him, but I don't like Derrick Henry this week.
Wow. What do you look now? Here's what I will say. Uh, this year, the two guys that we looked at that had the ridiculous years last year, who were on my team, by the way, I drafted both of them, and Saquon and Derrick Henry are both underwhelming this year, especially Derrick Henry. Now, why don't you like him this week?
You know me with the running backs, big Browns hater, hate the running
Ooh,
backs, and it's not even just because it's the Browns. You look again, I picked a guy like David Montgomery a couple weeks ago who doesn't have receiving upside like Derrick Henry, and he's really going to rely on the yards and the touchdowns, which the Browns don't give up a lot. Lamar Jackson's back; he's taken away opportunity from Derrick Henry. I just think the passing attack will be more used against the Browns than the running will. And I just don't see it from Derrick Henry going over like 15, 20 points. I think he'd stay below that.
touchdown dependent running backs against the Browns are literally suicide at times. And listen, it's a good point because you're talking about these last 2 to 3 weeks. Some playoffs start in week 13, right? Or again, depending on when your league ends, but still very interesting couple weeks. So good.
Mhm.
I like that, man. Good insight by that. Now, what's your number two?
Going Court Sutton.
Court. Oh, wow, that's another high profile name. Not loving Bo Nix, huh?
I do like Bo Nix, but I don't see the consistency out of him. I don't see the big plays out of him. I think it's a lot of those checkdowns. RJ Harvey's getting more involved. And honestly, Sutton hasn't been that guy the last 4 weeks. I mean, it's
You're right.
and I don't know if it's because of Bo Nix or he's just not getting open, but Bo Nix had those games where he's going crazy, and then you'll see weeks like last week where he's got 5 points. So especially against Kansas City, Spags, like, having that defense playing the way it is and how good they are at containing a wide receiver one like Courtland Sutton, I just don't see it out of him this week either.
Yeah, not just you're right about the wide receiver one, but also Spags learning a young quarterback, second year guy who mixing up coverages. He's had problems. Bo Nix, you hit the nail on the head. So yeah, listen, man, I kind of dig it, man. I love Courtland Sutton, but listen, this is you're getting to the nitty gritty now where you have to make some tough decisions with your lineups, man. So who we going third?
Another tough decision that people might have to make is Jared Goff on the bench this week.
Oh, I'm liking this one because I cannot stand Jared Goff. Why we fading Jared Goff?
You saw what the Eagles did last week. They shut down Jordan Love, and obviously how big Eagles fans we are. We're watching that defense and the addition of Jalen Phillips, and obviously Jair Alexander's not playing anymore, but still at secondary is still good enough. I see more out of the running game against Philly. I think Gibbs is gonna have another big week like he did last week. Dave Montgomery might have a little bit more reps and touches this week. I just don't see Jared Goff slinging the ball out there. He might throw a touchdown or two, but again, no rushing upside from a quarterback that really limits his ability, I should say, in scoring points as a fantasy quarterback.
Nah, listen, I like the play. I'll give a quick little betting nugget or fantasy nugget out there. The one issue on the Eagles defense that they have had in the past 6 weeks is Jahad Campbell getting stuck covering a running back in the wheel route. And look for them to expose that with Jahmyr Gibbs, especially because they have Laporta, who's going to be taking up some of that eye mess stuff in the middle. So Jahmyr Gibbs could have a long passing touchdown in this game. Just
I can
throwing it
see
out
it.
there,
I can
man.
see it.
I can see it. So I
Mhm.
like it, man. So any final thoughts as we go into week 11?
No final thoughts for football, I should say, but barbering. If you're watching this, I would check out my account. Been doing a lot of haircuts. Like you said, he got the new setup. Hoping to share that soon. And I'm improving every cut. 2 months in.
Improving in every cut. And again, that's at the Major Edge. Follow the Major Edge on Instagram. The link is in the description. And I'm actually gonna be doing some videos from the barber chair, doing some fancy, some betting videos. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. AJ's gonna fade me up in another week. I can't wait. Man, you're getting good, brother. You're getting good. So we're having some fun. Follow along the journey. What do we say to close it out?
Stay sharp on off the chair.
Catch you next week.
Yeah.